Okay, Christina Merkley with another one of our visual coaching sessions. I've got Lynn in front of me, which I'm very excited to have you here because it's been some time since we connected. So really awesome to see you and hold space for you. Welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Great. And we know just you got a young son, young, busy, energetic boy. And so stuff might happen here. Totally okay, right? I have such respect and empathy for parents during what's going on. So my hat is off to you and all
Thank
parents
you.
in the same boat. So we'll just roll with whatever child needs. Yes. And you
Thank you.
keep it real. Yeah. So we were starting to have a discussion. I'm like, let's get the recording on because we're starting to move into it. So however you want to enter into it. And you and I already just quickly spoke about maybe the approach we might use, which is the inquiry approach, because that is a way to access that might be a little different from other things that you've done with me in the past, and also other things you could do with other people too. So.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So my hope is to gain some insight about how I might approach my my whole life right now.
Oh, goody, I like a challenge.
That's all.
45 minutes, yes. So far, I'm doing okay on that. So we'll see. Yeah.
So in particular, so I'm a single mom, and my son is 5, and he about 5 weeks ago started virtual kindergarten, which has been I want to say words like difficult and challenging. What I'm really thinking is kind of a nightmare. Actually, it would be great if I weren't working, but I am also working full-time virtually.
Yeah.
So that means that I sit here in my chair and he sits beside me at his table. And really, I can't work while he's doing kinder because he doesn't know how to read yet. He's young. The curriculum is very slow and he's quite advanced. And so he gets bored. And so I really have to pay a lot of attention to him to help him do anything from log on to maneuver through Zoom to having his break and being back on time and not getting distracted by the dog. And so for me, that has caused a great deal of stress because he starts at 8 and my workday normally starts at 8:30. And really, I'm not able to fully attend to my work until he finishes at around 11. And now they've scheduled a new class that starts at 12. And it goes to 12:30. But all the things that would normally happen in the afternoon are asynchronous. And so they expect parents to basically teach that. So my morning is not focused on my work, and then the afternoon I'm trying to cram all my work in. And when work is over, then it's time for, dinner, bath, play, anything else that needs to happen, plus whatever work I couldn't get done in the morning, getting him to bed. And so this asynchronous learning, I don't know when it's supposed to take place. And I'm frustrated and anxious, and my just as a result of COVID and being kind of locked up here together, just the two of us and the dog, my patience is not what it normally has been. And so I feel myself having difficulty being the mom that I know and the mom that I want to be, as well as the associate that I want to be at work and the student that I want to be in my professional development and and the list just keeps going. So I feel like everything is sub-optimized, and yet I know that I'm doing as much as I can do, but the priority in my mind is how can I support him and myself. Like, I want that when we end this, that he will have learned some stuff and that we will still be friends. I
Oh,
mean, not
yeah.
be best buddies, I get that, but like
Yes.
some of these days are so difficult that we are in conflict in ways that we never have been before. And I know this whole time is different than people have been before,
Of
than we
course.
have been, but I really, like, I don't want more days like some of the days that we've had.
Okay. Now I'm going to screen share because I've been doing my best to get this down, and
Okay.
we're basically going to meet what's arised here. And I'm going to do a little add to this, but just well done. You gave me it on the coffee table, so to speak, right? So
Okay.
now we're going to, with this method, and you may have seen it with some of the other things I've done there, but we just greet what is. And often I'll have someone after the kind of initial context where I know, oh, we're going into inquiry, I'll get you to settle in and then see what's there. I didn't have to do that with you. It's so right there, right? So the frustration, the impatience, and then all the roles, right? Mom role, associate role, student role, that feeling of sub-optimization. And then just these are difficult days in this conflict, and want to remain friends. Knowing is not best buddy thing, which
Right.
kind of normal for parents because you're a parent, not a friend,
Right.
but friendly.
Yeah,
Okay.
want to like each other when we finish
That's
this.
nice.
I
That's
mean,
nice.
that's
Yes. Like each other still when we finish.
yeah.
Okay. When we finish COVID or
Mm-hmm.
whatever this is, right? That's all emerging here. Okay. So that gives us, so deep breath. And just we're welcoming all of that. This came out in a big packet, so to speak, right? This big packet here. Hello, big packet. You are welcome here. Whether I like it or not, you're here, so you are welcome here. It's kind of like the best to be welcoming. We're going to take them in the layers. It's like a parfait glass of layers. So first off is the frustration. So, oh, yes, understandable. We don't like being while I do this, you're going to find your own internal relationship to these things. And so it can be somewhere within your system, in the body or in your field, in your mind, whatever, right? Like, this is how it works with human beings. Things just reside somewhere. So when I'm asking you to meet them, you're basically going to, inside of you or outside of you, find where it is and kind of meet it, like almost like standing in front of it. This is all driven by you and your intelligence and your link. This is right brain work. So the right brain is connected to everything, right? The whole collective unconscious, the subconscious, pick your name of choice. Our little left brains, which I hear being very tired in you and,
Yes.
and overworked, right? Little left brains, they can only take in so much. It's so puny compared to what the right brain, and the right brain's got the bigger picture. It's totally ahead because it's got all that much more data. And this is often a matter of the right brain needing to inform the left brain.
Okay.
And the left brain is like a administrator or a bureaucrat in some ways. It's like the office worker. The right brain, ideally, is the one who's in charge because it's got the full big picture. But the translation problem, and this left brain loves to do, and that's where exhaustion and everything comes in. I'm hearing all the doing that's happening for you and trying to organize, and his doing and your doing. So that frustration, we're just bowing to that aspect of you that wants to do it right, right? And doesn't want to be frustrated. So anyway, so meet frustration, however frustration shows up in you. And just know I've got notes here, and sometimes it helps to just close eyes and focus in, and there'll be a recording. The process professional part of you can watch the recording like you have other ones and watch the mechanics of what I'm doing, because I know there's a part of your mind that is tracking at that level. You can keep your eyes open. You can close them. You can focus somewhere else. Whatever you need to do to just go find frustration within you. And as you go and find frustration, you kind of stand in front of it, right? And just say hello. I know you're here. And maybe even agree with it. Like, you're right. We are frustrated. This is frustrating. No doubt about it.
I feel myself want to fight it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little hard to welcome it.
That's okay. Yeah, of course. So fight it, hard to welcome. So we're just gonna welcome that. Welcome the fight. Welcome the discomfort in welcoming that. And just agree with it. Like, yes, it is hard to welcome this. And when I say welcome, I just mean like it's there. Just acknowledges its existence. Doesn't mean you have to be best buddies with it. It's here, it's present. Just see what happens. Anything's okay. If it's more fight, it's more reaction to it, whatever it is, it's okay.
It has a lot of energy, like in it. It's as if it believes that it can really, because of its energy, can really solve something.
Very good. Yep. Good. I'm gonna do this in columns as it comes out. So that's what those lines are. I'm just gonna continue underneath like a row or column here. Okay. So out of this comes it thinks it can solve it.
Yeah.
Good. So that's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So hello, mind. Just do a little head here for the mind, right? Often we get into that head on a stick sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hello, mind. And we want to appreciate minds because we need them. Mine got you very far. And it's a very desirable part of us in our existence and in the existence of human beings. We wouldn't be here if our ancestors didn't have well-developed minds, right? So thank it for wanting to solve it. And appreciate that overworked, underappreciated potentially mind. And see if there's even any offerings you want to give it, like we're giving it praise, but a handshake, flowers, a gold watch, right? Take your pick, right? Like whatever feels appropriate to you to acknowledge it with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What comes up for you? What do you want to acknowledge it with?
I think a brief hug.
Okay. Not a big one, a brief one.
Yeah, not a big one.
It's not a big hugger. Okay, good. That's progress. The brief hug. Excellent. Yes. Okay, nice. Now just see what unfolds.
I do have a sense of empathy for that part because my gut doesn't really believe it can solve it. And yet it's working so hard and it's trying so hard.
Yeah.
And every single thing that it can come up with, it tries it again and it tries it again and it tries it again.
Yeah, you said something interesting too. You said my gut. So now we've got kind of the different region, right? We've got the mind going up here, and then the gut has this empathy, and it's and maybe even a heart, right? It's empathy is loving. So there's definitely a heart energy in here, and it's directed towards poor little mind that's spinning its wheels, right?
Yeah.
And empathy, heart, gut knows that mind's not going to solve it. It's bigger than mind.
And yet the mind just can't stop.
Yeah, just can't stop. Poor mind. Yeah, like zzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, short circuiting going on. Does not compute. Keeps on trying. So that's underneath mind. It has a heart too. That's big love, to be working so darn hard. If you're a one-trick pony and that's all you got, right? Mine's got the logical, right? So it's trying its darndest, trying to compute it, trying to Google out an answer for you. So just, even a bow, like a namaste, just like a really like, oh my goodness, that's huge work. And underneath that huge work is huge love for you. Thank you, mind, for loving me so much.
Well, and it does feel really bad that it can't do it.
Okay, good. That's communication. So just receive that. It feels bad that it can't do it. And what do you want to do with that as mind kind of sends a, I'm sorry, I can't solve it.
I wish I could let it know that, like, I don't expect that it could.
Okay, good.
You know,
Then
to
just
be
go
able to
ahead
take a
and,
break.
yeah, communicate that from heart, gut, I don't expect you to do it, to solve it. It's okay. It's okay, mind.
The mind says, but who's gonna do it? Like this panicky voice,
Yeah,
like, what the heck?
yeah.
Somebody's gotta figure this out.
Good. And see how the gut and the heart wants to respond to that. Because again, isn't that so sweet? Who's going to do it? If I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
That's so sweet. It cares so deeply, and it doesn't understand. It's like, again, it can't compute anything outside of the way it does it. So just see what the response is to that. Sweet mind.
Excuse me 1 second. No problem. This is getting ready to break. Can you go back in the other room, sir? I'll holler when I'm done.
Cutie.
I think the response to who's going to do it is around, we're just going to keep gathering information, just keep gathering information, and it's going to get clear. I think that's part of why we're here.
Okay, good. You're going to keep gathering info. It'll become clear.
No.
And it's why we are here. Okay, sweet. Now, if you're able to multitask, which moms are, I'll keep going, but also if there's anything you want to do, just go right ahead. So if you follow that track, that heart and gut, that loving gut is saying, we're going to gather info. It's okay, mind. We're in info gathering stage here. It's going to become clear. And it's why we are here. That's got me interested. There's different ways we could take that. It's why we are here. Just see what happens as that offers up. It might be the mind responding, or you might go somewhere else. Just see what arises.
Feels like a real tension between I don't know if it's gut or heart that says there's lots of possibilities, and then the mind that says, you know, something that is full of the frustration of, but which one? How do you know it'll work? You know, like just a long list of rapid fire questions.
Okay, yeah. So this is fine. It's just going to go back and forth. So we're just going to follow the natural back and forth. So,
Okay.
gut, I'm just going to call it gut, loving gut,
Okay.
right? Because it's kind of a combo. So loving gut is responding, and there's lots of possibilities here. So we'll get that one down. Lots of possibilities. Don't you worry, mind. Lots of possibilities. And mind goes, possibilities? We need to narrow it down. Which ones? What are we going to do? And it's a mind. That's what it does. So just say, it's okay, mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Or just see what gut, mind, gut, heart wants to say to which ones do we do?
What I really prefer to do is see what the possibilities are before choosing.
Okay, great. That's the counter. Good. So loving gut is saying, I just want to see what they are before choosing. Don't you worry, mind. We're just going to check out these
Yeah.
possibilities. Just see what arises from here. There might be yeah buts, or there might be, oh, that's okay.
I think the second, it's more like, well, that makes sense.
Ah, there's language of mind. How nice.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Good. So that's where it went. That makes sense. Nice. So just settle into that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, mind. That makes sense. Excellent. And see what arises from here.
It's like, well, what are they then? What
Good.
are the possibilities?
Good. Good, good. And just see what the response is. Valid question.
I thought I wasn't getting anything with that, but maybe it's just that the question feels so broad. Maybe that is the response. The question is so broad, like I'm not quite even sure what I'm.
Let's do this. Something happened there with broad, and something might have just expanded, is my guess.
Uh-huh.
And it could be the mind that's kind of gone broad to try to find, the answer. Or it could be there was a response in there with the gut that went broad. So let's go to gut. That's good. That's a process yawn. So that's
Mhm.
good. Yeah. So something's moving. So let's go to the gut and that gut heart and uh, invite it, and it might already be doing it, to see if it wants to unfurl. Sometimes these things get a little contracted, right? Consciousness comes into a human form. It gets kind of in a pattern. It gets used to being in a certain way. So mind is in a certain pattern, and gut heart has been in a certain pattern. And my guess is it's been a little contracted because that mind's taken up so much space, and it's something that you've understandably relied on a lot, but this situation is not a mind situation. So see, hey gut, hey loving gut, if you'd like to, there's an invitation to take up more space. See how it responds to that. It might want to root down, it might want to stand up, it might want to expand out. Any of those options are valid options.
Excuse me 1 second,
Yep.
bud. Yeah, that chair, that leg right here is not working. Bud, can you go back out while Mama's in the meeting? I'll come get you in just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, well.
We're just, let's just, it's arising. So it's part of this. So Friday night energy, little guy, little 5-year-old wanting mom's attention. You're welcome here. It's all okay.
Expanding.
Yeah, just see. It might not be the right way to go, but I think it was broadening, right? Just see, there's invitation here for gut and heart to just take up a bit more space, however they want to, if they want to. Just notice, yeah, there's a response. Yeah. Go ahead.
It would definitely be different.
That's the mind analyzing it. It's like, oh, that would be different. So did something start to happen and it felt different? And what was it that started to happen?
Well, in typical wake up, race through the day, fall into bed, I don't have much time for creativity.
Yeah.
And so it feels pretty obvious to every part that that's the case.
Mm. So you're making a link to whatever started to happen there with that expansion, then creativity started to come in. So and then there was a comparison, right? Then there's like that'd be different. That doesn't exist, right? So there's this kind of like testing of it as this thing starts to show up that you associate and put that label creativity on, then the other stuff comes in. And it's like, okay, mind, understandably, you're right. There's not a whole lot of time, and you're right about all the rattling off of how the day usually goes. You're right. And back here to whatever's starting to expand, because you gave it an invitation and something happened there. And out of that popped creativity.
Yeah, that lots of possibilities does not feel clear. It feels like that would be a creative.
Cool. Yes, I get it. So lots of possibilities goes into creativity.
Yeah.
And then mind reacts to that, and that's okay. But let's welcome, hello, creativity. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And maybe even I know for myself, when I even said those words, there's a little bit of sadness or like yearning, right? Because it's been so long. It's been like stuffed down, suppressed, and tucked away. And just even that little bit of opening and expanding, like, was like, whoo, brought on some. Is that fair? Is it sadness, or what is it for you?
Yeah, there's a little grief.
Grief, good word. Yes.
And at the same time, the mind does recognize that, like, it's not really equipped to do the creative part and that it needs more.
Great. Good. So it's like, I'm not equipped. Creativity is not my department. So that's kind of mine to recognize that. So, and you're right, you're not. that's, that's not what you're about. You may participate in different ways as a bureaucrat and administrator to help it happen, but this is really right brain territory here, creativity. And then as creativity starts to expand, just the whiff of it brings on grief. And that's valid. So grief, you're welcome here. Yes, 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 yes. Not real happy about it. Don't like it. However, it's totally valid. So just making some room for grief. The grief around the limited space that your creativity has had to exist in, understandably. Then what happened?
It's like a power move going on. Like the mind's like, yeah, creativity. I need you to kick in so I can take your ideas and try to make them work.
Yeah, well, that's actually a partnership, so that's not bad. Yeah. So kick in. I'm not equipped to do creativity. So get going on the ideas so I can assist. There's that loving mind again, just ready to like, okay, drop them, so I can, get tactical with them, do a little game plan on it and start making it happen. So just bowing to mind is just such a go-getter. Like, what a trooper, what a team player, what energy. Yes, yes, yes. And there's partnership in there. So that openness to work with, it recognizes it can't do those ideas, but it sure as heck can help implement them.
Hearing you say partnership is helpful because my mind was thinking really taking over. Like, take it and run. Like, I just want you for this little bit. And then you're kind of kicked to the curb and I'll take over from here. But the idea of partnership feels better in my body.
Okay, good. So that's that gut. That's the flip of the mind, right? Whatever we want to call this, gut, heart, body. It wants partnership. Yes, yes, yes. That's like a fist bump. Right, this together. And there's heart, gut, body, And this is head, mind, logic. All right, creativity over here, ideas. And it's saying, yes, 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 partnership. Then see what happens.
I've started walking recently. I had stopped after the first couple of weeks of being quarantined, first few weeks, when I couldn't get Daniel to want to go with me. But now I've realized I can do a circuit kind of around the park in front of me and still see the front door and go around the block. And I can't say that I have come to any huge brainstorm of creative ideas, but it does help me release some of the thinking and some of the constant brain drive.
Yep. The sizzling that's happening. Yeah. Okay, so what emerged was walking.
Yeah, so when I saw that body in the left hand side of the partnership, yeah, I think, and I felt like before I didn't have time, I can't do it. And then I actually got inspired by a client who's doing it and who has a lot on their plate. And well, I guess even just realizing I can walk, I don't have to go someplace to walk. I don't have to walk around the whole neighborhood. I can do the same lap around this park in front of the house and see the door, which allows me to feel like he's safe.
Yes.
Call me. That was actually a creative
Good. Yes.
kind of
Workaround.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Bowing to that. Thank you, creativity. There's one for you, mind.
So that gives me an idea that my brain is trying to tell me that it's not unique enough to be helpful, but that's not really true. Really, so that example came from someone listening to someone else and being inspired by them. And what's been going through my head is, when do you have time to be creative? Well, walking could be it. It hasn't yet. But it might be that the creativity can come from other people. It doesn't have to come just from my head. I mean, not that it could, but maybe I could be.
I think mind's just trying to figure it out. So we're just going to bow to mind.
Yeah.
And just go. I know for sure that walking came from the right brain and from creativity. So
Right.
I know that for sure. I know that some stuff happened there about the right, calibrating around this. Check to see which one it's coming from. About other people, is that coming from the same source that walking came from, or is it the mind doing its computing thing?
Depending on how I do it, it directly connects to heart.
Good. Okay, great. Then let's get it on the board for it. Yeah, and it's heart is gonna, it doesn't talk like the brain does, right? The mind in words and logic, it more operates through feelings, or it sends you packets of information. So what is it sending to you as you get that waft of this info that is giving you? Try to unpack it as best you can. What is that? What is it communicating, this stuff about other people? What's the message it's sending? There's definitely something there.
I don't have to do it all myself. I don't have to
Ah,
figure it out all myself or do it all myself.
okay. There we go. Good. So, and flip it. If you're not doing it all by yourself, then you can do it.
There are people around me that can help me.
Okay, good. Can do it with people around me.
Yeah.
They can help. Okay, great. We'll bow to that. Good
For
idea.
a
We like
second.
that. Yeah.
Then my mind says, but you don't have time. And it says, and this is really true, you know this is true, that you don't have time to figure out what help to ask for. So that, because there are people who have offered
Mm.
and you haven't figured out how to engage them. So
Just think mine. Good point, mine. You're right. And then just see what unfolds as, mine's got its perspective, which is right. It's not the full big picture, right? Right brain's got the fuller, bigger picture here. So just see what unfolds around this, doing it with other people. They can help. See what unfolds. What does it want to send over the wall to you, so to speak? Right brain is sending it over the left brain wall.
that some people, if I were to ask them, might have suggestions about how they could help.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And anybody in particular it gives you, or anything to start with?
There's an argument in my head that's what's making me
Okay.
slow.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So one would be Lizette and one would be Lori.
Okay, good. L-I.
Zette.
Okay. And Lori?
Laurie.
Different ways to spell it. Yeah, great. Okay, good. And now let's go to the argument.
The argument is they told you, let me know how we can help. So it is not okay to go back to them and say, what do you think you might be able to do that would be helpful? It still says you got to figure it out first, which then is what I've been trying to do, which is not working.
Right. So let's just see what the heart and gut and body have to say. Mine's like, no, we have to do it this way. They said, let us know if there's anything we can help with. So that means you have to figure it out. And body's saying, well, just turn it around a little and just say, hey, how do you think you can help me? Help. I can't figure it out. What do you think? What would you be willing to do? What do you think would be helpful?
And what's so funny is both of them, well, almost most of the people in my life right now are coaches. And so they probably would have, if they didn't have an answer, they'd probably have some good questions that would help.
To figure it out. Okay, good. So good old Heart is saying here, they're coaches, for Pete's sake. They'll be able to help. Good. They have good questions, which will help elicit it between the two of you.
Yeah.
Nice. Now just see what's going on inside of you, if you can also do it at the same time as outside of you.
It's interesting because there are some people, excuse me. Daddy, please, Daniel, listen to Mom. Please go back. Leave Nola alone. Leave her alone, please. There are some people in my life who would push me to be very clear about what is the request.
Mm-hmm.
And so it may be that I don't ask them.
Right. How about these two? Because this is what,
Those two, no, those two.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the wisdom is saying, start with these two. They're coaches, and you can turn it around. And and even if that doesn't work, they're coachy kind of people, so they'll work with you. They'll work with you, and between the two of you or three of you, you'll figure something that they would be able to do that would be of help.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. And
And
then
I,
the other people, it's probably going to be like, thanks, mine, but that doesn't matter. We're going with these two.
right. Because I have one friend who's already stepped in and is helpful on with a chunk of time with my son on a frequent basis.
Nice.
And that came up just the way this conversation is going.
Mm.
The
Okay, good.
person observed and said, would it be helpful if I, fill in the blank?
Mm.
And it
Mm.
was. It's been really amazing. And so that could happen again.
Yes. Okay, good. Good. So that's the right brain, that heart, body just sending over, "Psst, remember this." It gives you
Yeah.
that felt sense.
Yeah. And even if there was something in particular that I needed from the other people,
Mm-hmm.
maybe these friends would be able to help me figure out a request,
Ah,
because processing it with them would probably be easier.
good. So not only can you do it that other flip-flop way with them for the people who really want specific requests, this team of yours can help you figure out what specific requests you might all be able to come up with, so that you can also elicit those other people's help as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
And even help me figure out when I compulsively go back to the same place without clarity and then feel frustrated as a result of that conversation. Help me remember not to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're the ones to say, I mean, I try to say it to myself. I just can't always make myself resist. Like, don't keep going back when you know, don't keep going back that way when you know it's just going to cause frustration for all involved.
So if you're not doing that, what are you doing?
Go back, do what needs to happen so that you can go back in a different way.
Okay.
Because truly, the person does want to help.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a specific need. Like, they really do need, I guess, for me to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a lot of patience for the figuring.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I were to say, this is the thing that I need, they would, if they could do it, they would say yes.
Mm-hmm. So if I've got the wording right, do what needs to happen so you get to specifics.
Um, Let me try it again. I'm not sure how to say. It's that get clear about the request for the people who need specific
Okay, very
requests.
good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So specific requests for the help of those who want specifics, and Lizette
Oh
and
yeah.
Lori
Mhm.
can assist with that. So good. I already had that in there. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so this is really nice because you don't have to toss out all those people who want specifics. You've got
Right.
these two who are really good with not being, if you don't have to come all specific and perfect and it worked out, they'll help you do that for the things that they can be helpful on to identify that. But also out of that process may come some other things or things that you can focus on for these other specific people who do want to help, but they want specifics from you. They don't have the whole patience thing to sort it out. So this is excellent. You got these two to
Yeah.
work with to help get specific. And then depending on what those specifics are, you've got other people you can go to where there might be a match.
Yeah. I think that underlying message is remember there are people who want to help you.
Yes, good, good.
I mean, even this conversation, I mean, this is another example of there are people who have the willingness and the ability, period.
Mm-hmm. Good. There are people, and then I'm an example, EX Christina. Good. And then this, good. So just, you're right. Thank you. Good job, body and right brain and heart. Excellent job. See what unfolds from here. I heard that, so there's a bit of a sigh, relief. That's nice. And just see mind or gut, heart. You can continue to connect and dialogue with them, but while I'm still here holding space, either side, do they want to pipe up, or how's this doing for them? It might be coming into a nice balance.
Yeah, yeah. I keep looking from there are people who want to help back to the left hand around the frustration and
Mm-hmm.
impatience and difficult days and conflict. And
Mm-hmm.
it does feel like um,
That feels different now when you've got a counter here.
yeah, it feels like a
Mm-hmm.
balance. It feels like an antidote. Just
Good.
know that not that the mind doesn't have a role, but I live in my mind so much just to, like at a kind of fundamental survival level, getting
Yes.
done that need to be done. But that heart and gut level really help me be connected. Um, outside of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have,
Outside of the usual, right? The usual habits and conditioning, which is kind of mind centric to balance it out. And again, we're just going to invite it. Oh, you can take up more space. That's what's the balancing, right? It's kind of expanding and balancing out that mind that was really taking up more room and more kind of showing up more.
yeah,
It got a little lopsided there. So now this balance is coming out as you've invited it to expand and take up more space. Yes, please. Thank you. It is, and it's been throwing out all sorts of ideas and creativity for you around the antidote, which is people helping and coming up with ways to use the people who are there who want your help or want to help you, other way around. Yeah. Good, 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 good. See if there's anything else that either parts of you, this balance, this whole wants to communicate. Just see what's going on, how you're feeling now. That might be our work for today, but I'm just going to see if there's any other things that want to pop out here. This is nice. We've got a balance. In fact, I should probably write that down, shouldn't I? Draw a little yin yang. It kind of feels like it's coming into.
Yeah. And we're about to go into Libra season, which is my season. So.
Oh yes, cool. So I would say just a little bow to balance. Bow to this feeling of it, the lopsided and the overemphasis in the mind with that heart and gut coming up and taking more space, and this balance occurring, this wholeness kind of emerging. Just a deep thank you, thank you, thank you to that. And good practicalities, which the mind can now turn around and do, right? Pick up the phone or email or whatever to Lizette and to Lori, and figuring out what would be helpful for them to participate with. And part of that will likely be helping to figure out specifics for other people in your network who have come forth, who do want to assist, but want you to be specific. And the remembrance that there are people who want to help. And how nice to get this feeling of balance. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. And giving some help to that poor active mind, right, who's just trying to solve it under its own means. And it still gives something mind to do, right? Mind's just so loving and so wanting to participate. So as creativity brings forth these ideas, which it did beautifully, now mind, you can help. You're wanted, mind. In this balance, this partnership, you are wanted. You are needed. You are well thought of and respected and cared for and appreciated. Just don't get carried away and try to do it all yourself. Yeah. Ideas need to come from the other side.
Yeah, and it's not just about, yes, the mind does want to take over quite a bit, partially because it hasn't been super clear that there's time for the additional resource to balance it out. But also, I feel very clear the mind is just freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
So that balance that will be able to give the mind a break.
Yes,
And support and having some rest.
Oh, beautiful. Mind, here's the invitation, mind.
Yeah.
How do you like to rest?
Oh, God. Phew.
Okay. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. Yes, rest. Rest, rest, rest. It's okay. You have help here. We've expanded. We can take over some of this off of your shoulders. You're allowed to rest, mind. Yes, please. Take a little snooze. Take a little breather. Take a little vacay. Take a little time off, mind. You don't have to go 120% here. Down to 50. Just a part-time job.
That's good.
Good. So mind, yeah, ooh, nice, good. Yeah, this is a recalibration happening where it's like, okay, it didn't take long for it to like, okay, I'll go down to 50. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody. No, it's too much.
So just breathing into that as that calibrates in the body, right? Like how the body feels and the mind feels. When the mind reduces, just like creativity expanded, they kind of recalibrated and gave up some room and took some room to get into this balance. And now that leaves space for rest for mind. Mind can check out. Just feel into that rest, how that shows up. Just inviting that rest to expand. And it's kind of, you know, the fighting, right? It's fighting it. And it's just like, okay, you can drop it. You can drop all those instruments. You can drop the calculators. You can drop the timetables. You can drop all those calendaring, all that kind of stuff. Just drop it. It's rest time. And then the feeling in the body, I just get this big whoosh myself. It's like, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, good idea. Good idea. And how nice that the mind's willing to do that, to reduce down the hours, to take it down to 50%, to share the load, share it with creativity, share it with heart and gut. And that heart and gut are willing to expand, to take that from mind. How nice. Giving.
So good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Possibilities, and I can remember that tension that I felt, and now it feels much more clear.
Nice, excellent. Our sign something has occurred here. Good, much more clear. What's the opposite of tension?
There's a release, relaxing.
Yeah, right. Might be a while, right, since you felt that, but feel into that body. That's relaxation. Lynn, that's relaxation. As that expands and that roots out and mind shrinks, right? The steaming of that, it calms down. Oh, there's some relaxation. Yes, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are welcome here, relaxation. You are welcome here. Yes, please. Good idea. Totally allowable. Truce and partnership has been negotiated. Relaxed body. Is everything?
I like it.
Yes, I like it. Good. Okay, my work here is done.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And nothing you need to do. The work's been done. It's unfolding. There's recalibration happening here as these two aspects of yourself and consciousness come into a new shared balance and relationship. You may have had that somewhere else in your life, but it's been a while, right? So it's now like, under these circumstances, under this condition, wow, we've got a new mediation here that results in this. And I like it. Yes. Okay. I think we'll end it there. Yeah, my pleasure. How sweet. This I will continue with a little bit of coloring and titling and that kind of stuff. You know, as a visual practitioner, there'll be a little bit that'll be done here and I'll send it to you. The recording, it's going up about 2-3 weeks. So we've got things in the queue. So you'll go into the queue and that'll show up. Pat can always send it to you if you want it ahead of time too. If you don't want to wait for when it drops on the YouTube, she can always share it with you. And I just want to thank you. It's lovely to see you again. And thank you for being willing to do this. This will be helpful. Other people will parallel process off of this. And
I can feel it already.
Good. Yeah, that was the right one to do. We could have approached that with the logical linear, but this, you know, the mind, you needed heart, you needed gut in there, you needed that balancing. This is the right way to I think, find
Yeah.
that. So I'm glad
I'm
we went
glad
this route.
you chose this.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear that part.
I'm glad you chose this.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Lynn,
Well, thank you so much. I
go
appreciate
go
it.
rest and
I am. I'm
enjoy.
going to
Yeah.
go take this big old boy over to his grandparents.
Nice. Good.
I'm going to come home and lay down and look at the ceiling.
Yay. Excellent. Mind can go to sleep and body
Yeah.
can relax. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be great. Oh, this was a perfect way to start the weekend. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to tell my friends. This is
Cool.
going to,
Good. All the best with that. Yeah. And thank you. I know you have sent a friend my way, so I look forward to meeting her and
yeah,
seeing what
she's
emerges.
really neat.
Yeah. And the work I do
Yeah,
with her. Cool.
great. So
Okay.
thank you so much. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And I will be seeing you online watching.
Okay. Take care. Bye for now.
Great. Take care.
Yeah. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye bye.